Hey, it's Emily and this is every series that I'm currently in the middle of. So looking at my series spreadsheet, it looks like I'm in the middle of about 27-26 series. I have just added a few on that I had missed off my spreadsheet, so it has gone up. But yeah, I'm in the middle of about 27-28 series, so quite a few. More than I thought it was going to be, I'm not going to lie. But going through them, they do all make sense. So I'm going to try and keep each one very brief when I talk about it, because otherwise we'll be here forever. I'm not including any series that I'm caught up with or finished this year. These are literally ones that I can continue should I want to pick up the next book in the series. Without further ado, these are in no particular order. They're just kind of the order they're in on my spreadsheet. But yeah, let's jump on in to the first series. So series number 1 is Alex Rider by Anthony Horowitz. I have read the first 9 books in this series out of the 14 books that are currently out. I adore this series. This is the first book, Stormbreaker. Oh, I forgot to mention, some of these series I don't have the books with me physically, or I don't have the first book physically, so I'll just hold up whatever I can. But yeah, this is the first book in the Alex Rider series. There's 14. I have the first 13 in paperback. I was waiting for 14. I think it's called Nightshade Revenge to come out in paperback before I bought it. But I am continuing the series like actively because I have read one already this year. I read book 9 earlier this year, so I am continuing it like currently. This follows a kind of kid spy. Turns out his life has been a lie pretty much, and his uncle and his dad, maybe his mum as well, they're all like MI6 agents, and he kind of gets recruited in by MI6 to kind of investigate Stormbreaker, and it goes from there. I do really love this series. I know they're for like a younger like target audience, they're younger teenagers, but I just find them so fun and they're so easy and quick to read. Yeah, that's the first series. The next series that I'm in the middle of is 39 books long, so it's understandable why I'm still in the middle, and that is the Poirot series. I have read the first 20, well not the first 20, I've read 20 of the Poirot books. This is the first one that was ever published. It was Agatha Christie's debut book, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, where we first meet Poirot. I've kind of been trying to read them in order more so now. There are a few that are out of order that I've just dipped in further along. You can see them all here. Agatha Christie is my favourite author. Yeah, I am still slowly getting through the Poirot series, as there are 39 of them. But I read at least one Agatha Christie every month, so once again this is a series that I am actually actively continuing. This isn't one that I've kind of put on the side. Next up we have Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. I have read the first 2 in this series and I do own the third one in paperback, but I wanted to have them matching in paperback, so I waited for that one to come out before reading it, and I know the 4th one's out but that's not out in paperback yet. And I think there's a 5th one being translated potentially. I don't know. I have heard that it does go downhill, but the first 2 I did enjoy, and I do think they look stunning on my shelves, so I definitely want to continue reading them. I haven't really got much else to say about this series. It's kind of like a very light fantasy. You go to a cafe and you can travel back in time, but there's a very strict set of rules. I do recommend the first one for sure. Next up is another Japanese translation, and that is the Assassin series. This is Bullet Train, probably the most famous one in the series so far. Excuse when my rabbit decides to eat it. This was my favourite book of last year. It was such an easy 5 stars and such a fun time. I then picked up 3 Assassins, which is technically book 1. They're kind of standalones, but that's the technical order, I guess. The Mantis has just come out, but I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback, which comes out in about 2 weeks. No, in about like 5 days. And then there's another one called Hotel Lucky 7, which is being translated into English and is coming out at the end of this year, but that'll be in hardback, so I'll be waiting for it to be in paperback again. I absolutely adore this series, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the Mantis, because I'll be reading that straight away. Now the next one, I don't actually have any physical copies with me, and that is the ACOTAR series. I've only read Court of Thorns and Roses, well the first 3, the main I guess trilogy. ACOTAR, ACOWAR, ACOMAF, I know that's not in the right order, but those are the only 3 that I've read, and I will be rereading them when I take part in Chloe's Trash for Maths read along, and then hopefully that will also motivate me to finish off the rest of the series with ACOFAS and ACOSF. That's the plan. Another series that I don't have with me but I am in the middle of, I think I've actually unhauled the first 2 books in the series, but I still want to read the 3rd, and that is the kind of Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, like novel series. This just is a spin-off novel series, I guess. I literally just said that. The first 2 were fine, I enjoyed them, but they weren't anything special, so I think I just got rid of them. I don't have them anymore, but the 3rd one I would probably still read around Halloween time. like in the autumn. Next up is another murder mystery series, and that is the Detective Kanzuki Kendaichi series. This is the first one, the Honjin murders, and as you can see I've read the first 3. I do have the next 2 that have been translated on my TBR shelf over there, and I'll be pre-ordering the 6th translated. I don't know if it's 6th in the series, but it's the 6th one being translated. I absolutely adore these. They're such a fun mystery, and I've never really been disappointed by the first 3 so far, so definitely looking forward to picking up the next one, The Village of 8 Graves. I need to do it soon. I just need to do it. Next up, we're back to Agatha Christie, and I have the Tommy and Tuppence series. I believe there's 5 of these books following Tommy and Tuppence. This is the first one, Secret Adversary. I haven't actually read this one. I've read Partners in Crime and N or M, so I have only got 3 more to go to complete this series, but yeah. Another fun one. I really do like Tommy and Tuppence's dynamic. They're a married couple solving these little mysteries. They have their own like detective agency, so it's quite a fun one. But yeah, I need to actually finish off this series. Next up is another series I don't physically have with me because it's back at my parents', and that is the Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher. I've only read the first 2, which is Throttled and Collided. I did have good fun with these. These are an F1 romance series if you didn't know. I just need to haul the next 2 before I can read them. But I am really enjoying them, and they're just quick, easy romances. And I am an F1 fan, so got up extra early to watch the Chinese Grand Prix today, so I do like an F1 romance. I just need to finish this series. Then we have the House Murder series by Yukito Tsuji. I've only read the first 2. Those are the only ones that are technically out, but the 3rd one comes out I think this summer. As in, it comes out in English, it's been translated. I think these were first published in the 80s, but once again, they're more like cozy mysteries, isolated big houses. I kind of found that you shouldn't retake them too seriously, they're just a good fun time. I read the Millhouse Murders earlier this year, and that was just such a fun time. Very predictable, and I called the ending, but I still had such a good time reading it. The next series is one that I've been reading on my phone, and that is this manga series. I have no idea how you pronounce it, but it is a kind of revenge torture manga series that my friend recommended me, and I do enjoy it. I mean, it's very graphic, but I'm up to I've read volume 5 out of 11, so I'm getting there. It's good fun, just yeah, graphic. The next series I have is the Bridget Jones series. I have the second one here, Bridget Jones: The Edge of Reason. I did read the first one, and I am going to unhaul them probably after reading them. Yeah, I've only read the first one, but I got the first 2 in this kind of set that I found in a charity shop. They're like still wrapped up as a set for like £1, so I thought why not. And it's got pictures in the middle from the movie, so who doesn't love a picture of, you know, Colin Firth and Hugh Grant while they're reading. So I believe there's 4 in the series, so I'm only a quarter of the way through, but I'll get there. It's just easy read, and you just got to not take it seriously because I don't think it's aged too well. It's a product of its time. I like the movies, like don't go living like Bridget, but I do want to read this soon. The next one is the Robert Langdon series by Dan Brown. I have the Da Vinci Code here. Also behind me somewhere down here, there we go, is Inferno. I've only read Inferno and Angels and Demons, but they are good. I really love those sort of books where like I'm trying to figure out the puzzles as well as them. Like I just love the whole like logical thinking. I know it's not for everyone. They have a special place in my heart, but I've only read those 2, so I definitely want to read more of them. They just take a lot of brain power to read these, I think. They're not the easiest of reads, and they're not exactly short. But this is also on my Books Will Self-Destruct, I believe, so I definitely need to read this before September and just continue the series because I really also do love the movies. I just love puzzles and things like that. Next up we have the Murder Most Unladylike series by Robin Stevens. I have read the first 5 books in this series. They're just very easy, quick murder mysteries that literally I could probably read in a day. They are good fun for a middle grade mystery, even if I have guessed nearly all of them so far. But then again, like I'm really not the target audience. They are just fun. I think the friendship between Hazel and Daisy, I couldn't remember the characters' names then, it can be toxic at times, but if you're just looking at the mystery, they're not too bad. They're a good fun time. I just need to finish off the series, which I should because I know I can read them in a day. I've done it before. Another Agatha Christie series, and that is the Miss Marple series. I believe there is 14 books in this series, and I've only read the first 2. This is the first one, The Murder at the Vicarage, but once again, just a nice cozy mystery, and I have liked the first 2 so far. I've just been prioritising getting through the Poirot ones first, so I'll get there. I have the entire series and the matching editions, so I'll get there. Then we have a historical series that we're in the middle of. I say we, I'm in the middle of, and that is the Poldark series. This is the first one, Ross Poldark by Winston Graham. This is a 12-book series and I've read the first 6 and they're getting chunky. This is quite short for a Poldark book, I'm not gonna lie. They're all kind of around the 600-page mark now. I really like the TV show, so I decided to pick up the books and I really do like them. I just need to continue them. This is another one that I am still really actively reading. I read the last one last month, I think, The Four Swans, so I need to pick up the 7th book very soon because I'm really enjoying being back in that world. Then the next one that I have is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I have not bought Lightbringer yet. I was trying to reread the first ones before Lightbringer came out, but I only reread the first 2, so I'm a bit behind on my reread, but that's why I haven't bought it yet. But when I buy it, I'll get to it. This is a series that I was pretty much up to date with until Lightbringer came out last year, but it is my favourite adult sci-fi series, so I definitely will be getting to it shortly. The next one is another one I've been reading on my phone, and that is the Creature Feature series. They're literally 6 short novellas on Prime Reading, so I've read the first 4, just got the last 2 to read, which I know I can finish off. Like, I can read them both in a day because they're only about 60 pages long on my phone. They're little short horrors, but they're good fun and very easy, quick reads. So I know I can finish off this series very soon. So then we have the Assassination Classroom series. This is one that I have started this year after watching the TV show with my best friend. He got me the first 2 volumes for Christmas, so this year I started reading them. I still have only read the first 2 because I do want to acquire them physically, but I just haven't bought them yet. I went into Forbidden Planet and they didn't have 3, 4 or 5, so I was like, okay, maybe I can't use the 3 for 2 deal today. But this is just a fun manga series that I am definitely looking forward to continuing. However, there's 21 volumes and I'm only on 2, so I'm getting there. I will get there. They're easy reads and quick reads, so they're just fun. And they got a 5-star from me so far. They're one of the few 5 stars this year, like very few 5 stars. Then we have another series that I don't have with me, and that is the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I have actually exclusively listened to these on audio on Scribd, so I definitely am careful about when I listen to them. I don't like listening to them in public, but I have read the first 5 of this series and I'm pretty sure there's like 20, not including like the novellas as well, so a hefty series, but I'm getting through them using Scribd/Everand. Then we have a romance series, and that is the Faulty Elevator trilogy. I don't know if it's actually called Faulty Elevator or if I think it's called Starting Over maybe. Either way, all 3 books in the series start with a broken elevator. It follows the 3 girls that are in that elevator. It's like each book is their story. I read Yumi Forever a couple months ago in February, or actually I finished it in March. This is book 2, and then there's, I can't remember what's the third one called. Just the Way You Are, Just the Way I Am. One of those 2. I haven't bought it yet, but I do love Jo Watson's writing. She's my favourite romance author, and I need to continue this series and see what Frankie's story is after falling in the elevator. Then we have the Wayward Children series. I have pretty much, apart from the first one, read them all on audio or listened to them on audio because they are on Everand. This is, I believe, a 10-book series now. There may be more coming out, but I've only read the first 5 and I've started rereading the first 5 so that I can continue on. They're very, very short and the audiobooks don't take long to listen to, so they'll be easy to finish off the series once I finish rereading them first. I hope that makes sense. Another one that I started this month, and that is the Agathas. I didn't realise this was a series when I started it. I thought it was a standalone. Turns out there's a second book. I don't know if any more are going to come out, but I do not have the second book because I didn't know it existed. But I finished the Agathas last week and discovered it was a series, so that's now on my spreadsheet, but I did really enjoy it, so I think I'll be picking up the sequel very soon. Then we have the Poirot continuations by Sophie Hannah. I have read 2 of them, weirdly books 3 and 4. I haven't read the first one, which is this one. There are 5 out at the minute after Silent Night came out this year, but it's in hardback still, I think. Just another cozy mystery series that I'm halfway through pretty much, so just need to crack on and actually listen to them or read them even. But I have been prioritising like the actual Poirot books by Agatha Christie, not the Sophie Hannah continuations, just because I just love Agatha Christie more than Sophie Hannah, even though Sophie Hannah does a really good job of being Christie-esque. It's not the same. So as we've been going along today, I've added in 8 more series, I think 7 more series onto my spreadsheet, words, that I realised I had missed off that I, you know, may have started a long time ago, and one of them is The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell. I own the first 3 books. I've only read the first one, which is this one, The Last Kingdom. I believe the series is called The Saxon Stories. I really enjoyed the TV show, though I've only seen season 1. This is the first part of season 1, so I know what happens in book 2. So that should mean I should want to pick it up sooner rather than later, but I read this in 2021 and I haven't picked up the rest of them yet. Historical has been growing on me, especially since picking up the Poldark books, so we'll see. I should be able to continue this soon. Then we have the One of Us is Lying trilogy. I have One of Us is back here because the first 2 is back at my parents', and spoiler alert, this is my current read. But yeah, this is a trilogy. YA mystery. I did enjoy the first 2, though I did read them as like a teenager, so we'll see how my opinions will change for this one. But yeah, I have started it, so hopefully that can be a series ticked off in a couple days time, or whenever I finish this. Then we have the You series, so this is You Love Me, this is book 3. First one is You, then we have Hidden Bodies, this, and then For You and Only You, I think is the 4th one. Basically, I thought it was a trilogy, and I was about to pick this one up being like, yeah, about to finish a series, because I'm really in the mood to read something like this right now, because I really did enjoy the first 2. And then I did some research, turns out there's a 4th book that I was completely unaware of, but I definitely want to continue this series very soon, hopefully in May, because I just finished season 2 of the show and I don't want to continue watching the show until I've read book 3, even though I think there's some differences. And I believe this one is back to second person, because if I remember correctly, the second book wasn't second person, but we'll see. I'm excited to read it nonetheless. I just won't be ticking off a series by finishing this. So then we have a series that I didn't realise was a series until the other day when I was talking to Rachel. We have the Billy and Me books. This is, I guess, the sequel, Always with Love. I've only read Billy and Me, thinking it was a standalone. And then when I was looking at which Giovanna Fletcher book to read next, I read the back of this and I was like, hang on, these characters sound very familiar. And I messaged Rachel about it. And she was like, yeah, this is in the Billy and Me universe. So I got to read this one as well. And I think there's also Billy and Me at Christmas or something like that. It'll say in the front, I think. Christmas with Billy and Me. So there's that one too. But I had no idea this was a Billy and Me book when I got it. So yeah. Then we have the Jurassic Park series, or duology. There's only 2. This is the second one, The Lost World. I need to get to it because I really did love Jurassic Park. I read it a few years ago with all the big mama dino action. If you remember, if you know, you know. I just need to finish off the duology. I got this in a charity shop fair recently and it's so nice and floppy. So I should, in theory, be able to finish this now. But this is a sci-fi. I'm sure you all know the movies, but I did enjoy the first one, so there's no reason why I shouldn't like this one too. Then we have the Sherlock books. I believe, is there 8 books? I don't know, because I have 6 books, like physical books, but some of them have like 2 stories in, so I believe there's 8 actual books. But this is the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I have only read A Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, and for someone who loves Agatha Christie and just murder mysteries, it feels like I should actually read these very soon. So I definitely will be picking them up very soon, because I just recently hauled these very beautiful editions. So there's now no reason why I can't just binge out the series, because I have them all now. And then finally, I think this is the last series I'm actually in the middle of, and that is the Kissing Booth series by Bertha Recalls. Chloe gave me the 3rd one for Christmas. I've read the first 2 and both novellas, so it's literally just this in the Kissing Booth universe that I haven't read. So in theory, I should get to it very soon. These literally take me no time at all to read. I fly through them and they're just easy, fun summery reads, but I was kind of waiting for the sun to come out before jumping into it, and it hasn't come out that much. But I definitely want to get to this summer and complete this series. And that's it. That's my last series I'm in the middle of. So thank you very much for watching. I didn't realise how many series I was actively in the middle of. There are other ones like Heartstopper, but I'm caught up, that I didn't include. But those are the ones that I can do something about right now if I chose to. I hope that makes sense. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I hope to see you soon with a brand new video. Bye.